Hi guys, today we're going to be talking through the brand new Ensis scores. That includes the Datron Edition and the limited edition Alula. Both super cool. We've had them for a while now. We absolutely love them. So we're going to talk you through them. So we're going to start off by talking about the standard Datron score. So I've got the 4 meter in this, but there are other sizes available. We'll go through the sizes a bit later. The first thing you're going to notice compared to the V2 and the standard score original, it's the fact that it has the white tips. And this is because this is hybrid Datron technology. So that means the leading edge and the strut, that's all made out of the standard Datron, but a lighter weight white Datron is used on the wingtips. This basically makes the wing lighter and feel nicer in the hands. I mean, for maneuvers, for tacks, the wing gets over a lot faster than the V2. And also for like your tricks, like your 360s, your downwind 360s, just overall a much more maneuverable wing. Kind of like the spin, but just a little bit loose on the canopy, so it does still have that low end grunt that's so synonymous with a score, which is really nice. Next thing I want to talk to you guys about is how nice this wing flags out. I mean, we do a lot of wave riding around here, and we find that this wing has flagged out better than a lot of the other wings that we've tried. It's super light, super stable. Handle on this on the single strut here, hold your handle there, and it's just brilliant. Flags out really well, really evenly, and we've been super impressed by that. So we're going to a bit more detail of this canopy now. So the V2, you might know that the canopy is a little bit baggier, gives it loads of low end grunt, but maybe the top end's not so great, also not as maneuverable. Having a little bit tighter through the canopy, just overall, just gives a little bit away from that low end, but honestly makes the wing a bit pumpier and just a much better top end. So overall, much more versatile and, in my opinion, much better wing. I really like the 4 meter. It's, to be honest, my favorite wing that I've had. I also have the Alula one, but I love the size of a 4 meter wing. I love how maneuverable it can be. Next thing we're going to talk about is the handles on this wing. So bring it in a bit closer. It's very hard to see, but it's got a slight oval shape, like an egg basically, an egg shape. That basically means you're going to have a better feel of the handle. I'm a big fan of the Ensis handles. The original V2 ones they put on the V2 score, really nice. The V3, basically the same handle, they just made it thinner. I'm from a windsurfing background. It's like going from like a stand diameter boom to like a skinny diameter boom. It's that really nice feeling. You're more off your fingers, not so much on the hand. For me, I prefer it. So you probably now want to know what the wing's actually like on the water. I've had this 4 meter for about 3 months. My colleagues had his 4.5 and his 6.6 for the same amount of time. Working in a shop, we get a lot of opportunities to go on the water, so these wings have definitely been used a fair amount. The first thing I want to show you sort of regarding that is how well this wing's held together. I mean, it looks pretty much brand new. Granted, I know it's only 3 months old, but we do get out a lot, like I said, and we definitely put the wings through their paces. The wing on the water is really, really nice. I've been lucky enough to use quite a range of wings. This has got to be one of my favorites so far. Flags out really, really well. Feels light in the hands, which is just because the wing itself is just so light. Compared to the V2, this is a much lighter wing compared to a lot of the wings in the market as well. Really, really lightweight wing. But yeah, light in the hands, really nice to flag out, nice for attacks, nice for your maneuvers. Overall, just a really friendly, really versatile wing. You can take this out in the waves, you can learn with this wing, you can take out for a freestyle session, whatever you want, this wing will accommodate that. What would be nice, I think, in the future is if they did do a boomed option. I think there might be some sort of sense that they might bring out a wing that just has a boom. I mean, they do have the top spin, obviously, but something similar to the score with a boom. But it would be nice to have this, to have a boom as well. We'd quite like having a boom, that's all. But regardless, the hard handles are still really nice. And anything else that I've missed? I'm just trying to think. Actually, my colleague will kill me if I don't show you this, so I'm going to show it to you. You'll see with an Ensis wing that the canopy is attached directly to the strut at this bit here, about the back third of it. He's convinced that that makes all the world of difference. It means you get more power, you can pump it better, just feel more connected to the wing. I think he's right. I'd like to know your guys' opinions, but this is his thing, and I want to tell you it because he is convinced it makes all the difference. So yeah, that's another feature that I thought I'd show you. So yeah, overall, Ensis score V4, V3. It's ergonomic, feels really good in the hands, super lightweight, really nice in maneuvers, nice and balanced, great versatility. Overall, yeah, fantastic wing. Right, we finished talking through the standard Score V3. Now let's talk about the limited edition Alula model. So Alula is obviously a bit of a buzzword at the moment in wing foiling. It's kind of come out of almost nowhere and it's kind of taken the wing sort of world by storm. Lots of brands now are offering an Alula version of the same wing, and Ensis has obviously offered the Alula version of the Score. So I went for the Alula 5.2 as much as anything because I just wanted to see what an Alula wing was like. Um, Alula is meant to be lighter, stiffer, better, basically. And so far, I agree. I use the 5.2 in wind ranges from about 8 knots to 15 knots. And then 15 knots more, I used a 4 meter. Now, I know I'm comparing it to the V2 Score, but I had a V2 Score standard Datron Ensis wing. The low end of that would get me up in about 10 knots. This gets me up in 8 knots. I know it's a small difference, but on a day where it is marginal, it is nice just to have something that gets you up in a little bit less wind. I think just because it's so much stiffer, it just gives it a better pump. So I can just get up in lighter winds because I can pump it harder. That's what I found anyway. I do use it in combination with a downwind board, but I did also use the V2 in combination with a downwind board. What I can say about the Alula is sort of going on about how well it pumps, is just how stiff it is. In the hand, it feels a lot stiffer than a standard Datron wing. I do have to say that so far I am believing the hype about the material. The other thing I like to talk about is how much lighter the Alula is. The 5.2 Datron wing I had in the past, now that, if I flagged out, would sometimes, especially if there wasn't enough wind, especially when it was light, the sort of rear tail of the wing would want to drop in the water, the sort of tail end of the strut. It kind of want to sink down. The Alula, because it's so much lighter, flags out. So it just needs less wind to flag out. And that makes a real big difference, especially if you're like wave riding, sort of float and ride conditions, light wind conditions, makes a really big difference. Another thing with Alula is sort of, again, with how stiff it is the top end of the wing is much higher. We've been pushing out 30 knots plus on these sort of wings, which previously we couldn't really do just because of how stiff the other wings were. I mean, maybe you guys at home can, but we struggled with it. 30 knots on this sort of wing is doable just because of how much stiffer it is. Another thing we're going to talk about as well is the fact the Ensis wing is kind of the first Alula wing that I've seen. You guys might know other wings that combines the Alula Gold with the new Alula Aris. The Alula Aris is basically just the ultra light Alula. So they use that on the strut and the tips. Similar to a Datron wing, they're using a combination of materials, just means the wing's even lighter. I have some insider knowledge that kind of pushes the idea that other brands, especially some big names, are also going to be starting to use this Alula Aris. Ensis were the first from what I've seen, and I think it's fantastic. Compared to a standard Alula wing, you actually do notice the weight difference, which is crazy to say, but yeah, it's definitely lighter. Also, I think the black colour is just more neutral. I prefer the black colour. People like the yellow, but you know, a bit more black on it, I just think makes it a little bit less shouty. Just looks a bit better. But yeah. What else can we talk about the Alula wing that's different to the standard Score? Probably not much more. I'm really interested to see how well this stands the test of time. I've heard that an Alula wing will last longer than a Datron wing, so that will be interesting to see. Obviously, I've only had it for 3 months, so I can't tell you that yet. Like I said on the previous Datron wing, I've used this wing an awful lot, and it's in really good shape still. You know, I know, like I've said, I only had it 3 months, but we do get out a fair amount. So it's really held its shape well. And overall, yeah, I mean, the only thing that was slightly annoying is Ensis only brought the Alula out in the orange. Blue's my favourite colour. I love having blue wings. So yeah, I had to go for an orange wing on this one, but that's okay. So that kind of marks the end of this Ensis talk through. If there's anything you guys want to know, any other sort of opinions you want us to give, that'd be great. We're going to have a review coming up on the new Ensis Roger at some point. Yeah, we've been learning to power wing. It's been slightly humbling. Bowles Miller makes it look way too easy. Trust me, it's a little bit harder than he makes it look. But yeah, it's been great fun. And so we're excited to give that a review. But yeah, we've had to wait until we get a bit better to properly review it. So, you know, bear with us. Obviously, we have all the other Ensis stuff. We have the Ensis boards. We have the Ensis helmet as well. And yeah, we love all the kit. But yeah, if there's anything else you want us to review, anything you want us to talk you through, just let us know. Leave a comment in the comment section.